guys want coup. We light the fire, we speak the truth, voices rising strong for you. No retreat, we break on through. It's two guys, one code. 2G1C, rocking loud and free. Two guys, one coup, the voice of liberty. 2G1C, standing proud and true. Power to the people, shining through. 2G1C, two guys, one coup. 2G1C. Two guys, one coup.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to 2G1C. This is your host, Dale. Welcome, everybody. I am back. Yeah, Buckeye, let me see that. Still crying over Nick Chubb. Yeah, retiring. Nick Chubb. So if you don't know, he's only one of 3 NFL players. I think it's Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, and Nick Chubb, who have rushed for 50-plus touchdowns, averaging 5+ yards per run. Crazy stat. So, yeah, Nick Chubb definitely will be missed. There's no doubt about that. I think that's what I saw over the weekend. Lots going on here. I want to start really, first of all, by thanking all of you for joining in and chiming in and kind of giving your thoughts on where the direction of the show should go. And I totally agree with that. And I want to thank Maureen right off the bat for filling in at a time when I really needed somebody to fill in for me and kind of carry and help carry this podcast through. Think I'm just going to do it solo from now on, Monday and Wednesday, until a right fit comes along, maybe in the future, maybe not. Who knows what'll happen? Maureen and I are still going to do our Tuesday show on the American First Warehouse. So I want you all to follow there. And we have great guests and a great format. And it's just a better format where we can focus once a week together on that and bring in great interviews from great patriots to all of you out there. Second of all, really today I don't want to be doom and gloom, but honestly, my wife lost one of her brothers yesterday suddenly. His name's Jimmy. He's one of 4 brothers. There's 5 of them total. He was the second oldest. Passed away yesterday morning, and I've known him for 50 years. So long story short, knew all of her brothers before I met Sherry and married her, and long story, which I'll go into someday because it's really an incredible story, honestly, our journey together and all that. But yeah, thank you, Danny. Yeah, so don't want doom and gloom, and Jimmy certainly wouldn't want doom and gloom. If you knew him, he never serious, not once. You didn't know if he was bullshitting you or telling you the truth. That's who he was. He was all boy. He was all troublemaker, but everybody loved him. He was just that kind of guy, and he would take the shirt off his back for you if needed. And so please, yeah, thank you. Keep my wife in your prayers. Jimmy's family, he's got kids, a young daughter who's still in middle school. So that's just really that's where we're at this point. So please keep them all in your prayers. And Jimmy, you'll be missed, brother. I promise you. I promise you. Yeah, thank you all for the condolences and the kind words and all that. And now that's it. Like I said, Jimmy wouldn't want doom and gloom. He'd want bull crap and goofing around and talking about the nonsense that's out there from the left and in just news in general. I mean, as you know, a lot of it doesn't have to do with the left. There's just crazy things going on out there in the world. Yeah, Tarna, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, kind of like here. You're right, Danny. Yes, thank you so much. And in case you're joining us, yeah, that is, I think that's your Maureen's cousin and all that. We're focusing on the Tuesday show, so I'm going to be doing the Monday and Wednesday solo for now. Really makes sense. It's so hard to put 3 shows together in 1 week, and especially 3 in a row. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I think Maureen and I were best focused on that Tuesday America First Warehouse show. But we will be here Monday and Wednesday. And I got a link up there too, if any of you goobers just want to hop on to come on screen or just audio. You can do it. Doesn't matter. That's certainly up to you. So Danny says, just attended calling hours last week for a coworker who passed away suddenly at 57. Life is a precious thing. Yeah, Jimmy didn't make 60. He was 59. He was my age. That's what I am. And it makes you really sit back and look at perspective. I was thinking about that. We're all sitting there busting our ass at work, and you're worried about your bills being paid, and your credit scores, and what's going to happen next, and all that. And it's just like, for what? Not that you shouldn't worry about it, not that you shouldn't be responsible. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it seems foolish to worry about all that stuff, for in the end, what does it all really matter? Keep within your circle, keep within your family, tell them you love them, hug them, hold them, make sure that they know how much they're appreciated, and do anything and everything you can. Live like they always say for today, because you never know. And that was the case here. You just never know. So, all right, on with the goober stuff, guys. Listen, crazy stuff. So those of you who've been watching, obviously know I've been following that Lindsay Clancy thing. I'm going to say this. I know, as I say this, I know she did it. I am almost 100% sure she did it. And there's no excuse, because there has to be responsibility here for it, regardless of your mental state. Mental illness is real. We all get that. The drugs that they pump through you is absolutely horrific. I get that. And so I do not think that that's an excuse for what she did. And I'm not putting in that excuse. Three children are dead. I think she killed 3 children. There's a lot of sketch stuff with her husband. I get all that. But in no way do I support Lindsay Clancy in this case. I don't. I can't. 3 children are dead. Stating to me, and I saw this online, and this made perfect sense. Stating to me that if we can accept the fact that it's okay because she was on this medication and it wasn't her fault, and it was psychotic, and there was hormonal issues and all that, is it then okay if a man who is just jacked up on testosterone because he's got low testosterone and is taking, every, Viagra, Cialis, whatever it is out there, all of a sudden becomes a serial rapist or rapes a woman or rapes 3 women? Well, is it his fault because they pumped him with all this medication? He had hormonal issues. I get it. It's not equating apples to apples exactly, but the truth of the matter is, you can't accept that, and then you can't accept that Lindsay Clancy is not to blame for the murder of her children because of medications and hormonal issues, and then say, hey, no, that guy shouldn't be a rapist because, he's just a man. Well, it's the same issue. They pump him with testosterone and medication and all this other crap, and all the boner pills that are out there for everybody to take, and who knows how many they're taking. And next thing you know, he goes and does that, and then all of a sudden it's supposed to be okay. You can't. It's not the same. So at any rate, closing arguments are coming. We will soon find out. There is a series of people out there that just support her and support her and support her. And again, I think 2 things can be true at the same time. I think you can admit the fact that she murdered 3 children, and you can also admit the fact that there was a failure in the system and the pharmaceutical industry in general. I think we all know that. We're not stupid. We get all that. It just absolutely drives me crazy. Yeah. So here, well, let me get back to a couple comments here. Leslie, I muted that Rodriguez's name on X. So sick of the crazy bitches posting their vids up supporting her. The lineup that was outside of the courthouse today in support of her is baffling me. And I saw where a guy canceled his wedding because his soon-to-be wife was in support of her and feels that, well, if you can support her killing her children, well, I mean, what could that possibly mean for you in the long run? Yeah, I think we've all gone batshit crazy on this. Lindsay is not and still will never be the victim. 100% true. 100% true. People still posting the husband actually did it is batshit crazy world out there. Buck, I agree with that. There's no indication that he did it. There was this video that came out. It was like, well, she admitted that she did it. Well, initially, in the thing, she did admit not guilty to it. That is true. The defense's argument isn't the fact, though, that she did it or didn't. Is there a longer game here? Are they trying to prove something different? Reddington's good. I think he's trying to get his client off and into the state mental institute as opposed to prison. I believe personally that's going to happen. I think the jury wasn't sequestered. They were allowed to go home. They were allowed to see all of this. I think it's going to be a hung jury one way or the other. And I think she's going to remain in the mental hospital in Massachusetts where she is, I guess, sort of incarcerated now. So, this is it. Aria, I don't get that rabid support for her. When can we have a discussion about the postpartum care and how it could be better, but she still killed 3 people? I agree. That's my point. I guess there needs to be improvements in postpartum care. It's a real thing. It's not fake. Nobody's disputing that fact. That the system and the medications fail people. And there is also this area of self-responsibility where you're like, well, wait a second. I don't want to take that medication. I don't like the way it feels. I may have thoughts of depression. I think we all probably go through what is thoughts of depression or things like that. So Leslie says this: how did the system fail? Her husband started working from home. He hired a full-time nanny. She had therapists and all the access to medical help. The in-laws kept the kids several times a week. All true. I think the system in general, I think medications, and by the system, I mean big pharma. I think medications in general fail all of us. I think the side effects are worse than the actual condition you have most of the time. I think we see that all over the place. So anyways, that's what's happening there. I don't want to go too deep into that because there's a whole bunch of other stories and crap going on. Yeah, Danny, I see that. She sent him on an errand and then killed the kids. What's not to understand about that? I mean, there's some sketchy things, though. Let's be honest. I mean, her Apple Watch is moving while she's in a coma, and supposedly he didn't have it. And I mean, there's some things that we're allowed to question. I'm not. I know Maureen was a full. She didn't do it. I know that for a fact, and that's what people are saying, and I'm not on board with that either. I think more of us out there are like, she did it. There's a responsibility to this, but at the same time, let's improve medications and or the ability. But it'll never happen because big pharma is huge and it's money. It's constant money. This medication doesn't work, put you on this one. This one doesn't work, go see this therapist. That therapist doesn't work, go here. We'll get you more medication here by this therapist or this doctor. I mean, there are pill farms all over this place that disguise themselves as therapy, medical professions. Just happens. It's what's happening. That's the problem with the system, and that's for all of us, not just her. Anyways, moving on. Speaking of medical system, I don't know if all of you heard this story, but actually my wife was reading it to me the other day about a Nashville hospital owned by Ascension, and they're national, and they're all dog shit, by the way. They're not good. But people went in for routine surgeries, joint replacements, knee replacements. And what happened was absolutely insane. So I don't know if you saw this or heard this, but I'm going to play this news story coming out of Nashville. Goes right in line with the medical system and who are they hiring and who are these people? Are they DEI hires? We don't know. But let's take a look at this real quick.
Expecting routine surgeries at this Tennessee hospital are now facing a medical nightmare. A drug mix-up at Ascension St. Thomas Midtown Hospital in Nashville reportedly left 2 patients paralyzed and at least 1 other on a ventilator after officials say they were given the wrong medication prior to surgery. Now, those
wrong medication prior to surgery. again, what do we know? We trust our doctors. We trust the system. We go in. My wife's gone through 2 major open heart surgeries, and not at once did I not trust the system because I thought, well, they know what they're doing. Second thoughts now, who knows? And we're talking prestigious place. We're talking Cleveland Clinic. We're talking the cream of the crop when it comes to cardiac surgeries. Craziness here.
4 patients were reportedly given potassium instead of an anesthetic. The family of one of those patients told our CBS affiliate in Nashville the mix-up happened inside the hospital's pharmacy. Now, hospital staff have
inside the hospital's pharmacy. Now that's, again, how do you know? How do you know? You're trusting on these strangers that don't know you, don't probably even care about you, working at a pharmacy, and everybody's been to a pharmacy, and boy, aren't they the most pleasant people on earth most of the time. If you're in the South, go to a Publix pharmacy. They're much better. Walgreens, terrible. Anyways, allegedly terrible. Don't want to get in trouble. We don't know these people. We're trusting them to give us the right medication to send it up through the system. Who knows what the hell's going on? At one point, do you say, well, no, don't give me that because I don't trust it? Of course, none of us are going to say that. We have to trust these people. But it's some pharmacist, a pharmacy clerk that filled it. Who knows?
apparently realized something was terribly wrong when multiple patients went into cardiac arrest. Too much potassium given too quickly can stop a person's heart.
Jeez.
Now, in a statement, the hospital said they were, quote, deeply sorry for the harm caused. And
they're deeply sorry. I'm deeply sorry for the harm caused. 2 of you are paralyzed. 1 is on a ventilator. I don't know what happened to the 4th one. I don't think they say.
and had implemented corrective safeguards to prevent something like this from happening again.
What would those corrective safeguards be? But honestly, what is the corrective safeguard that can happen here? Somebody fills it, somebody double checks it. If you look at something, so if you've been in the hospital, you see anybody that's been in a hospital. I mean, my wife was hooked up to 72 different tubes and machines and all this, and there's all this stuff coming out. Generally, they're all the same color, clear. How do I know which one is which and which one isn't, and which, again, you're trusting your doctors, your pharmacists. Things like this, I guess, can happen, but this is weird. 4 in one hospital.
Again, and we know the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations is now looking into this mix-up, but there are still a lot of unanswered questions. The hospital has also not made it clear what those safety protocols now include.
Oh, of course. What could they include? Who's going to check, double check, triple check? How do you include that? What do you correct there? I think, honestly, I think it's an employee pool issue. I think medical system has gone even further downhill due to the fact that people don't want to work. And I think most of that started happening COVID and beyond, when they were forcing jabs on people, or they were forcing masks on the hero nurses and all that. And those that went through it, God bless them. I'm not saying they're not. But I think it dumbed down, and the lack of nursing, the shortage of nurses, where I think people are they're just passing people through school and they don't know squadoosh about what they're doing. I think that is part of this problem. Yeah, massive lawsuit incoming for sure, Tarna and Danny. Yeah, I can vouch for Walgreens being dog crap. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely. Walgreens is, they're all, and I think it's just service in general, but particularly at a pharmacy where it's high stress anyways. There's very high suicide rates for pharmacists in this country, and dentists, believe it or not. I don't understand that one, but in pharmacy in general, they have access to all this medication. There's a lot of stress. People bitching all the time about, I need my medication. I got to have this. I got to have that. Why didn't the doctor fill it out? How come insurance isn't covering it? You're telling me that my doctor sent it in, but now you got to verify with my doctor when they're the ones who sent it in. We're going through some of this stuff with my mom right now, like that. So in general, the whole system, is it better than a lot of countries? Sure is. I mean, it is. we at least have access to what I would say life-saving medication. The problem is there's a lot of holistic stuff out there that I truly believe works. And there's already things out there that have been proven to work. And I say that because, cancer, a lot of chemotherapy, that stuff's just pure poison in you. I don't know that I'd go through chemo. I think I'd ivermectin it and something else. I read about a couple different things where I think I'd go through that first, obviously, before I jam chemo into my body. But anyways, weird story. I don't know what's going to happen with it. 4 at one hospital sounds to me like and if it came from the pharmacy, it's probably somebody that got the job that's not qualified, either because you can't find employees that want to work, and it's true you can't still, or it was a DEI hire. They had a quota to meet. Again, speculation. Don't know. But anyways, that's what's going on there at the Nashville hospital, which I thought was really, really crazy. Really quick here, I want to go into, I don't know if you heard this one either, about, first of all, those who know me know the University of Michigan is just absolutely probably the worst school in the nation and in one of the worst states ever created. It is one of those where we say we're 50 sovereign states and we need them all. I think Canada could have Michigan, honestly, and I'd be okay with it. I'd go to 49. Screw up the flag a little bit with them stars, but we'll get rid of one. Anyways, University of Michigan, Bill Maher had this on his show, and I'm, again, not a Bill Maher fan, but I'm more of a Bill Maher fan than I am a Candace Owens fan at this point. So I don't know. I don't know where my allegiance lies here. But this is what he had to say about what was going on at the University of Michigan. And I don't know if you heard this one, but this could be part of the reason why you're getting, unqualified pharmacy techs, because you're just going to dumb down everybody as is what their plan is here. Listen to this.
Let's talk about higher education, shall we? Because this is not the only story in the news. Quite a few. University of Michigan?
Mm-hmm, where I went, yes.
That's where you went?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I wish I wouldn't have had grades. That would have been great.
Right. They're going to no grades now. And the reason given?
Just as freshmen or for the whole thing?
I'm not sure about that. But what it
doesn't matter.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're saying it because sometimes a kid gets a bad grade and it makes them sad. I'm not making that up. I mean, I know Trump University is a scam, but when there's no grades, isn't that a scam too? This is not just the beginning. I mean, the end of the rot in higher education. It started long ago when they stopped teaching people things because they became indoctrination centers.
So all of that is absolutely no grades. Now, I didn't look that up whether I was going to be all for the entire year, but again, it doesn't matter. You go in as a freshman in college. What are they going to do? No grades in high school, and then just no grades in general. Like, what's the point of it? What's actually the point? If I go through the same process as in I'll say undergrad school for law school, and I go to the University of Michigan or whatever college is now going to implement this bullshit policy, who's going to know whether I'm better or worse than the next guy as far as learning abilities? And again, I never equate having an education as being an educated person. It never matches to me. I know some of the most highly intelligent people because of their degrees that seem to have the lowest form of education as far as common sense and problem solving and anything else that's going on. Education does not equate being educated. It just means you can remember things. You've studied. You've got a good memory. I can get good grades because I can get an A on my test. What happens afterwards? Book smart is not street smart, Tarna. You are absolutely correct. So there's that. So stay tuned for another 1 million reasons to hate the University of Michigan. You know what I haven't played in a minute? Wow, Jim, you made me bigger. I haven't played that in a minute. Stupid Jim. Anyways, going on here, flock cameras. So here's an what I think interesting story about flock cameras is, and I've got a little, what I'm going to say, a stat about this. It shows a little bit all over the place, and I have a lot of time to prepare. personal things, you know what's going on. Plus, we went away this past, 4 or 5 days for my daughter's birthday. And, so a lot of things happening in our life. Things, good things, and then obviously terrible things. But I have this very interesting story about our flock cameras. Everybody, I don't know if they're building them in your towns. If you see them, they're up everywhere, even here in Florida. And of course, they're saying, well, they're not for speeding tickets. We're trying to identify. I don't know what they're trying to identify. But honestly, what else? I got a speeding ticket from a flock camera, so you can't tell me that it's and it was $100. Pay your $100. You can't tell me that that's not what it's for. But here's the CEO, the flock CEO, talking about cameras and then privacy and how we need to have privacy and it's being invaded. And well, anyways, listen to this guy.
I value my privacy. My family values their privacy. My employees value their privacy.
Do they? They value it? I don't think so, but there's another point to this in a minute.
But what we're talking about is safety as well. And so I think when people talk about just one of these, privacy or safety, they're prioritizing the wrong thing. And what we have to prioritize as a country is compromise. How do we have our safety and how do we balance privacy? And so when I think about legislation that calls for an outright ban, that's like banning vehicles. That would never have made sense. Instead, what we did is we introduced laws against drunk driving. We introduced laws around seatbelts, laws around airbags.
Whenever they want to take away our freedoms, it's always about for our safety. And this technology extends far.
So that's a commentary afterwards, but that's the CEO of Flock. So when we think about that and our privacy and the total invasion of privacy, as Tarna did say there, and I agree, it is. But surveillance cameras have been around since the early 70s. License plate readers since 1976. Red light cameras since 1992. Flock is the name of the company, but the tech has been around for 50 years. We've lived in a surveillance state for a very long time. Do you agree with that? We know our phones are watching and listening to us. All I have to do is talk about a product, and the next thing you know, I'll get 13 ads in a row about it on my phone. There is your phone is taking a picture of your face. You have Face ID. We are being invaded. Our smart TVs can watch you. Our computer cameras can watch us and are. So when does the total privacy become the issue as opposed to safety? Say these flock cameras are able to catch criminals, and they will and have. Is that worth your safety? I don't think so. I don't think so. For one thing, because I truly, we caught criminals in the past. Were there more serial killers before cameras? Yeah, I believe so. So there's that. There is that. So what's the balance? What's the bottom line? How important is your security and safety and privacy? And since we've been on camera for a long time with our TVs and phones, good morning, Crazy Southpaw. Good to see you again. Where you been, bro? Missouri. Yeah, you have to manually shut that off, Tarna. You're right. You do. You have to manually shut that off. I agree with it. Nannied to death. Watch the series, Person of Interest, creepy as F. I will do that. I don't think I ever have watched that series. So it's absolutely insane to me, the story about how much our safety as opposed to our privacy, as opposed to I want to catch people who commit these crimes. We all have a camera with us. Almost everything's being filmed. And so I'll give you a for instance about that. So take a look at just real quick. I don't know if you saw this video of an Amazon driver got pissed off at a guy, like a 71 or 72-year-old guy, because he parked in his space, walked into the store. It looks like a gas station, grocery store, Wawa, something like that. And this is what happened. So I don't know if you saw this or not, but this is a good example of we got a camera here and we caught somebody who did something wrong, something very wrong. Watch this.
I'll beat your ass, nigga.
So he's in his face And what we've heard and what I saw, and I don't know this to be true or not, but was that there was an argument over a parking space. And it's a black individual who's the Amazon driver, a white man who I think is 71 or 72 years old. And this happens. Cold cocks him right from the back. Punches him in the store, punches him in the back of the head. Let's watch it again. I mean, like, these people, almost everyone acts like it's no big deal. Like, this just happens daily. Look at these people again. Oh, shit. Yeah, sucker punched him, Tarna, from the back. Regardless, this is what our world has come to at this point. This is why road rage incidents happen. This is why you got to be super careful about what you even say or discuss. Or I look at nobody anymore, it seems, when I go out. That's how unsocial I've become. It's hard for me because me and my family, we're always like, hey, hi. We talk to people. We open doors for people. We do. Now it seems like anything. There could be any reason why this could happen to you in a store, and why you should never travel alone. Honestly, I don't care where you're going. If you're going up to the gas station to get cigarettes or coffee or milk or something like that, go inside with somebody. Always have somebody with you at this point, because this is the kind of shit that's going to happen. It's absolutely insane. Buckeye, yeah. Again, this is a private business protecting its business with a camera, not a government doing it. Big difference. Okay, I totally agree with that. I that's a good point, and I agree with that. I am not. A business should protect itself, and the cameras are there for that. Again, is my iPhone camera protecting Apple? Is that why I have it? Is that why it kind of constantly goes off? Is it why it's listening to me? What about my LG TV and the camera on that? No, that's invasion of privacy. Flock is the same thing. Red light cameras to me are the same thing. I'm against them. I'm not for them. I am not. I'm not for flock cameras or red light. I think it's crazy. The problem is this technology. We've been invaded for quite a long time at this point with this technology. Absolutely invaded for quite a long time. Do you not agree? Leslie. She's true, though. I mean, it's not wrong. So how are cameras helping when violence seems to be increasing and nobody gives a shit? Well, Tarna, that's a point. That's a good point. I don't know. I think we keep true, Buckeye, but buying of iPhone is a choice to buy. We don't have a say in flock cameras. True. Or cameras out in parking lots or red light cameras. We don't have a say in any of those. I agree. You're right. It's a choice. Anymore these days, you have to assume you are being recorded. You're right, Larry. You do. You have to assume that's the recording because whether there's a flock camera or camera inside of a building or anything like that, everybody has a camera now on them. So you are being recorded. You are being the ability to be recorded. And that's why we see all these videos. That's why we see road rages. It's why we see all these fights inside of Taco Bells and all that. Here's a good one. Here's a fight. A taco company. It's not a Taco Bell, but it was a taco place in Vegas. So everyone's pulling out their phones, as you can see. Somebody already got their phone. I mean, the usual suspects, like it always is, by the way. I'm just saying it always is with these people. So you're right. It's a choice to buy an iPhone. It's a choice to buy your LG TV. It's a choice to buy a laptop and sit in front of it. It's a choice for me to come here and do this. We have those choices. You're right. We can avoid those by not getting any of that stuff. You are right. My problem is these people here, instead of jumping, would you ever be in a situation or think you would be in a situation that you wouldn't offer help to somebody or try to break something up like that, as opposed to pulling out your camera to go viral? It's a viral age. We love cameras. We need them. We need them for clicks and likes and posts, and we need them for becoming the next popular, influencer on Instagram or whatever, or on TikTok. So we're addicted to those because we like them, because it's the self-gratification and instant gratification of getting, I got 1,000 likes in like 10 minutes on this. I got 1 million followers. This is what it's all about. Now, instead of people helping, what you do is you whip out your camera and you try to go viral. We all have that instinct. Instead of what used to be human nature in trying to break up a fight or break up something because it's just not right. You great, you get in a fight. We've all gotten in fights. Bar fights happen, blah, blah, blah. You step away, you walk away, you move away. You get in the middle of it, say, okay, enough's enough. Move on, go on your separate ways, fellas, whatever. It just isn't that way anymore. The fight goes on, and it's time to put it on, Instagram or Facebook or wherever you want to do it. It's crazy to me that this is where we've come as a society, that this is who we are as people. Leslie, I worked at a bar for years. I broke up lots of fights, would still do the same today. But that's the point. Why is it the fact that there's not many like you out there? There's not many that would step in for a couple of reasons. One, because you can. You have the ability to film it close up and be that person online that gets the scoop and gets it out there. Kind of reminds me of TMZ. Everybody wants to be a TMZ at this point. And two, because fights just don't happen anymore. What happens is stabbings happen, shootings happen, gangs gang up on you. There can't be two groups of people where you just step in and break it up without somebody, another 10 of them jumping in on you. That's happened. I'm not saying that hasn't happened in the past and that's not a thing. What I'm saying is it used to be, and I sound like an old man now, but it used to be people fought and they moved on their way. Happened in high school all the time. It's now, even in high school, stabbings, shootings, you name it. It's not the same. And so people don't want to, there's no good Samaritans anymore. There isn't, because it's a high risk to you. You may lose your life just trying to do the right thing. So instead, we whip out our phones and we go viral. That's what's happened now. That's the dumbing down of society. It's why you don't get grades at the University of Michigan. And it's why you get pharmacy techs who don't know how to fill the right drugs for surgeons. This is why you get it. We're dumb. We're stupid as a nation and getting dumber, by the way. So there's that. That's what happened. But you know who's not getting dumber, but kind of sort of getting dumber? China. Well, did you all see all over X this weekend or your social medias, the whatever they call them, the robot Olympics? I don't know what it's called. It was crazy to watch them. I mean, these things are creepy. This is Terminator looking stuff. But they have a robot and they were having a race. I think this was the 100 meter and beat Usain Bolt's record. A robot running beat Usain Bolt's record. They can run fast. Stopping seems to be a problem. So watch this video. I don't know if you've seen it. It's creepy in so many reasons, in so many ways, but this is a 100 meter and these are robots running, designed by different companies and all that in China. I think in China, I believe it was all China technology. And watch this crap. Here it goes. Look at this crap. Look how fast. Now watch at the end. Oh, they don't know how to stop them, so they just aimlessly went. Look at this guy. Slides. Like what? What? You're not watching. I'm watching it again. But look at this though. This is crazy technology. Look at how fast. And stopping's a problem. Stopping is a problem. That is nuts to me. Absolutely nuts. What is going on? When are these armies going to be built? Yeah, you're right, Tarna. I feel so glad I'm old and closer to living. It's God's forsaken marble. I mean, yeah, I think about it, and I think about, obviously, my brother-in-law, Jimmy, and his passing, and I'm like, he doesn't have to go through any of this anymore. Any of this nonsense, this craziness that's going out there. Nobody fighting. What's going on? Oh, look, the Forrest Gump model. I know. Look, I want to watch it again. Hold on. Heck. I don't know where the sound went on this thing. It was even funnier. Yeah, look. They're just like running. They can't stop them. So they have to have pads at the end to stop them. There was one that did some sort of high jump. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like, or standing still, like just from a standstill, jumped, I don't know, 30 feet in the air. Just from, when are these armies coming in? And what is this part of data centers going on? What do you guys feel about data centers? I don't think I've even talked to most of you about it. How you feel about data centers being built? What is the story true? If we don't build them, China will take them. We already have 430 data centers across the country. I don't know. What do you think about all this stuff? It's weird. It's definitely weird. I was asking my son this weekend. I'm like, what do you think about all these data centers? He goes, well, if they build them underwater and just recirculate the water, that's a good point. Never thought about that. Can they do that? I don't know. I'm not an environmentalist, so I don't know what it does to the water. It just uses a lot of water. I know that. And I use a lot of AI, when I say AI, more ChatGPT, me and my wife both do. We use ChatGPT a lot, and it's crazy. I don't know how I feel about it, but what did Tammy say up there? Oh, hey, Tammy, good to see you. It says, Danny, that's the first thing I thought of. Run, Forrest, run. I mean, they're just going to be able to outchase us at this point. Great minds do think alike, Danny. You are correct. Leslie, Ohio has 231 data centers alone already. Holy crap. Can somebody Google search how many data centers are in America already? And where are these all at in Ohio? I don't see them. I don't know what part are they all along water lines like the Ohio River or Lake Erie, or in these, I don't think there's big, huge enough retention ponds for a data center. So it's got to be water-based, kind of like nuclear facilities. Leslie says various counties. That's crazy to me. So they're pumping in water that's used for the city, right? To cool down is basically what it all is cooling down the units themselves. I think, could be wrong again, but that's what it is. That's crazy. 231, and I haven't seen a one or heard of a one. Anyways, moving on. I've got about an hour today, folks, so I'm sorry to cut it short, but that's about where I'm going to be at today with this. It says Delaware County, so I'm going to put that up there real quick. Delaware County. So I know where Delaware County is. There it is. Delaware County has 4 and plans for 3 more by the end of 2028. Do you agree with them? What is your thought process on them? Aria says this, notice how the climate crazies went away from the data centers. Isn't that true? No more environmental claims. What does that tell you? And I know there's a lot of people that are our potential new governor, Byron Donalds, all for data centers. I'm not completely against them. I'm not completely for them. I don't know enough to be dangerous about it. Tarna says this, as of August 2026, this map tracks 4,713 U.S. data center facilities across 52, well, it should be 50 states and territories. Well, 52 states and territories. So thank you for adding that. Sorry. 3,567 operational, 307 under construction, and 751 planned or approved. Holy crap. That is a lot. How many more can you potentially build here? And how long have they been around? Why am I just hearing about it this year? Basically, heard about it a little bit last year. Heard Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, Shark Tank, talking about data centers. He's all for it because he can make billions off of them. Here it is. NVIDIA is paying people to put them at people's homes. They look like generators. So are we talking small data centers? Because I've heard that these things take up acres and acres. That's probably a different data center, but they're all the same. What happens with a NVIDIA data center at your home? So it looks like a generator, I'm assuming, at the side of your home. what happens there? How does that affect your home and your privacy and what your if they're paying you, does it cover the water bill that it's draining to use this thing? It's got to, right? I mean, Buckeye, yes, the ones at the homes. I've never even heard of this. How am I just finding out about this? And would you accept payment from the video, Leslie, or anybody out there for a data center attached to your home? Yeah, please send me the vid. I would like to see that. Yeah, send it in the Discord or whatever, however you want to send it to me. That would be great. I'd love to see it. Would you accept it? Do you guys accept data centers at your house? Is it something you want there? And what do they pay? Do they advertise what they pay? Or is it on a case-by-case basis? Weird. Never heard of that. Never heard of that at all. So thank you. Thank you for posting that. Couple other things I want to go over as well. And if you can, send me that video, Leslie. I would love to see it. Yeah, it's just getting crazy, Tarna. There's no doubt about it. It's getting totally crazy out there. Again, I need to learn more about data centers and exactly what the harm as opposed to what potential good it could do. Again, AI to me is one of those technology issues that, like all of it, in a way, the cell phone, great idea. We can keep track of our children. They can call us in case of an emergency. Loved ones can call us in case of emergency. Facebook, great idea. We can keep in contact with everybody we know and talk with them basically through our little devices here, and keep up to date on everything, and tell them we love them and all. It's good things to start with, and they always end up being abused and or taken over for bad. That's just the way it is. That's the way I feel about data centers at this point. Probably need them because of all the technology. Probably little to no harm to the environment at first. Maybe it's harmful later and a lot of water is used. And what do we do with that? And maybe we just have, we don't worry about it. As long as I turn on my sink and the water comes out, I guess I'm good and it's clear. I'm supposed to be good, right? I don't know. I feel weird about it. I got to learn more about it. This story here happened on an American Airlines flight over the weekend. It might have been just yesterday, but I always thought about this too. And when they ask you when you check in for your flight, whether it's online or there, do you have any lithium batteries? Do you have any of these, e-cigarettes, any of these battery type things? And well, of course, no. But every single damn person that's walking on that plane generally has a lithium battery or a battery of some type in their laptop, right? I know it's not the big chunky lithium batteries that they used to have in the old laptops and things like that, but there's some sort of system that keeps that thing operational while it's not plugged in. It's called a battery. I don't know what it's made out of, but this happened on an American Airlines flight yesterday, and it's always concerned me. I knew this was going to. Oh, Leslie, thank you. Posted several links on the Discord. Thank you. I'll grab those out for Wednesday's show. I don't know my timeline, guys, on a show note here. I don't know when we're going to be leaving to go to the funeral and all that. So that could be tomorrow. It could be Wednesday. It could be Thursday. I might be back Wednesday. I'm not sure. But I'll post. I'll let you all know, what the schedule looks like there. But thank you, Leslie. I appreciate that. But this American Airlines thing, I've always thought about this on a flight. What happens if this happens, and what happens if it happens to many batteries on a plane?
Caught on fire on an American Airlines flight with 133 people on board. Watch this.
Cabin fire in the back of the airplane. The flight attendants are trying to put it out now. And if you can have a note for medical to be there, I think the passenger with the laptop has got some injuries from the burn. I think we have about 4 to 5 passengers that were burned by the laptop.
Wow.
The flight thankfully landed safely in Dallas. The FAA says flight attendants contained the fire with a thermal containment bag, while sources tell Fox News Digital.
Right.
Then one patient was treated for minor injuries and released after the flight. It does appear to be the airline's second laptop fire this year, as the FAA has reported at least 58 lithium battery incidents aboard passenger aircraft so far this year.
58 this year. How many have you heard of? Now I understand. Millions of people fly. So when you look at the percentages, super, super low. So why are we worried about it? I agree. I'm not making the big deal out of it, but 58 this year, a little over half the year gone. So let's just say 100. It'll be 100 this year if you go by average. I've heard of one story.
And that's 58 too much for my liking.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean,
Me too.
they tell you every single time. Like,
How much more can they tell you?
Knowing, don't stow the battery in there. If you have it, take it out if you can, or if you don't, make sure that you put it under the seat.
Wait a second. Don't we go through security checks for those things? If it's a lithium battery, why are they allowing them on anyways? They tell you, I'll put it under a seat. What it would, I mean, it was using a lithium battery in their laptop. If that's not allowed, if they tell you to do that, why aren't they making sure that you do that? Why are they allowing that on a plane? If it is allowed, because it is, I'm pretty sure you could put your laptop on after takeoff. We all hear the announcements. Why are they saying that?
So I don't know why people keep doing this.
People keep doing it because we're allowed to keep doing it. We do it because it's not against the law to not do it. You can use your battery. You can use your laptop. All the time people are doing it. So these things are going, I don't know what causes a lithium battery fire. For the love of God, I don't know that. But we all use them. I use mine on flights, long flights. Everybody, whether you're using it for work or whether you're watching Netflix on it, something you downloaded on Netflix to watch it, we're all using them. So and I'm pretty certain and God bless him and all, but I'm pretty certain he uses his laptop on every flight he goes on. Let's be honest.
Well, sometimes you forget.
Right.
Sometimes
I don't know how
sometimes you forget. Give me a minute on this last exchange here.
And that's 58 too much for my
need to hear it
liking
again.
on that one.
Yeah. I mean, they tell you every single time. Like,
How much more can they tell you?
Knowing, don't stow the battery in there. If you have it, take
Stow the battery where? This happened on the laptop. The people got burnt from it. They didn't stow it anywhere.
it out if you can, or if you don't, make sure that you put it under the seat. So I don't know why people
Put what under the seat? The battery itself or the laptop? If it's on, will it not catch on fire? Would that one not have caught on fire anyways? How does that happen?
People keep doing.
I can't anymore. I just literally can't anymore. Oh my God. So here we go. Stuffing it under the seat is not going to do anything useful if the battery decides to go up in smoke. I agree. That's what I'm saying. And are you guys telling me that, like, so for those who vape, do you take a vape on the plane with you? I know you're not allowed to vape on the plane. It's not my point. Do you throw it in your carry-on? Of course we do. We all do. I have lighters. I can actually, I'm allowed to go through the airport with, I can actually light something on fire if I wanted to. I'm allowed to carry a lighter onto an airplane. I've had multiple lighters in my carry-on into an airplane. What's going to stop something from accidentally happening like this unless you ban it altogether? And what I mean by that is, could that have happened if, say, you stow it, say you're not allowed to have it in the cabin on an airplane, but you have to put it in your luggage and underneath in the luggage carrier? What if a fire starts there? Is that not, how do you get that out? What happens there? It's just crazy. Stuffing it under the seat is not going to do anything. Tammy, all cell phones use lithium batteries too. I believe that's true. I believe they're all lithium batteries. Now, I know there's different types of batteries, and I understand that. But I think they're all the lithium type batteries. Same thing with laptops, cell phones, vapes. I mean, this little guy here, I'm assuming inside of it, I could charge the battery that's in there. It's got to be a lithium battery, right? Could this not catch on fire on a plane? So what are they going to do? For $100 a year, let's just say, which is to me $100 more. I don't want a fire on a plane when I'm on my plane. Lord knows I don't want that. What are they going to do in the end? Anyways, interesting story, something to think about. Guys, sorry, a little down today, so I appreciate that. Everybody's been very, very helpful. And I appreciate all of your support as the listeners out there, and for contributing and bringing the show back to its roots, which is what it is. Well, Roots is 2 guys, but it's probably just going to be 1 guy. That's what I'm saying. And I'm okay with that as long as I have all of you there. And if you could like, follow, and share and get this out there, I would really appreciate it. That would be very, very helpful to me. Again, I don't know what's going to happen on Wednesday. Tomorrow on the America First Network. Again, I could be leaving tomorrow too, so still don't know what's going on there. I will be with Maureen on the America First Network at 9 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern time. We will be interviewing Barry Morgenstein again. So we had him on our show on here on the Monday or Wednesday show. We're introducing him to the America First Warehouse, and he's got an incredible story about his experience on 9/11. Coming up on the 25th anniversary of that, we don't want to lose sight of that. Apparently, the city of New York has forgotten altogether. But we're going to have him on. He's going to tell his stories. Again, if you saw Barry, he's great. It was actually a really good interview. He's a great guy, and he's a photographer, very famous photographer. A lot of rock bands, a lot of pop stars, a lot of Hollywood stars. Now he does complete headshots at his studio in New York, and he does it for all the news stations and still Hollywood stars. He's very, very famous in the photography world, probably the most famous one really here in the United States. So go ahead and please join in for that. Again, Wednesday, I don't know the schedule yet, but I'll keep you all informed of that. Let me play a couple comments here before I get out here. Danny says, better hope it doesn't happen next to that one passenger who had 3 breakfast burritos. Yeah, the one who brought on 3 breakfast burritos because you get a bag of peanuts on a plane or something. You're right, Danny. That's true. Leslie, wasn't there an issue with the vape pens catching on fire? I think so. I don't know if that technology's changed at this point, but I don't think so. I think it's kind of the same thing. Vape pens catch on fire. Yeah, Aria or beans. Beans on every flight. Here at Tarna, just heard from M that lithium ion are the bad ones. Yeah. What's in that? I mean, so is that what's in all of our phones? I'll research. I'll ask. I appreciate you all. You all do the research for me. It's what I count on at this point anyways. But again, folks, like, follow, and share. Thank you all for joining here. Most likely this will be like an hour show most weeks. Who knows? I'll have interviews too. I'll have people on. Again, anybody's welcome to join in, whether it's audio or on screen. You folks have the link. It's always going to be at the top of the comment section. To Buckeye, to Tammy, to Tarna, to Danny, to Crazy Southball. Thank you. And Aria, thank you so much for joining and chiming in and contributing. Get back to the show that this once was. I really do appreciate that. And it's because of all of you. And you know that. So, folks, thank you again for joining. Love you all. Again, keep my wife and her family in their prayers. We appreciate it. Lord knows we need them. And yeah, Tarna, I'll end with this. Great to be back, everyone. Totally agree with you. Folks, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.